Okay, Gautam sir, start பண்ணுங்க.
Very good morning to one and all present here. It's a great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to today's webinar program on entrepreneurship and innovation as a career opportunity. Quote, young minds are like a bare land and they are looking for a flawless construction to sculpture their mind. I am sufficiently elected to take this opportunity to introduce our honorable chief guest of today's webinar, Dr.B.Ezhilavan, Managing Director, VEI Technologies Chennai. With a colleague, Mr. Sitaraman. On behalf of Janssen Institute of Technology and in association with Institution Innovation Council, I thank him for providing a gracious presence to join us today to enhance the entrepreneur skills to students and faculty members. As well as, I would like to share our chief guest profile. Dr. B.Ezhilavan, Managing Director, VEI Technologies Chennai. He has completed his UG degree Adiparasati Engineering College in 2010, Computer Science Engineering, and he has completed his PG MBA HR Management in Annamalai University in the year of 2014. As well as he has been honorary doctorate in VEI Technology in 2013 to 2018. In the period, he was achieved lots of work done in a company. So Global Peace University, GAF USA, October 2nd and 2018, was given as an honorary doctorate award to Dr. B.Ezhilavan. He has conducted a numerous workshops in and around South India on the field of VLSI design, IoT workshop, MATLAB, and Android development applications. So he has conducted a value-added course for engineering and polytechnic students around Tamil Nadu. About VEI Technologies, VEI Technologies provide a broad range of IT consultant, web applications, and outsourcing service through an optimized technique. It focuses on delivering a business solution by modeling and consolidating the critical application that support our client business process. We serve industry leads as they are need to improve their customer experience, expand the market reach, and improve the time to market and lower cost. Through optimizing the global delivery model, they have provided professionals and dedicated work in software domain. They ensure timely complete of their projects. With this, I wholeheartedly invite our honorable chief guest to take over the presentation. Welcome you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hi, student, and hi, good morning to everyone. This is Sitaram. I'm a software developer. So I have around 7 years of experience in the software industries. Then I developed more than 17 applications in the Android application. Then I placed more than 7 application in Play Store. Apart from this, I have a knowledge in Angular also. So right now, today we can see the session of the mobile application technology with Android. So before we going for that this session, first of all, we need to know that what is mobile, then what is Android. First of all, we want to know. In the topic itself shows mobile application development with Android. So you know, right? What is the meaning for mobile? So the mobile is the thing which we can move from one place to another place. It should be anything. Okay, even you can change Bluetooth, or you can change the any Wi-Fi device, anything you can carry from one place to another place, means that is you can say as a mobility. Okay, so here why we can say as a mobile means in the olden days. Okay, initially in the olden days we are used a landline mobiles for huge electronic device. We can use as a desktop computer that should be in a room size. Okay, so we cannot carry over from one place to another place. If we carry over means it's take a huge task. So that and all more difficult in the previous days, correct? But that is for initial stage it should be okay. Later on, it not be suitable for our today lifestyles. Correct. So for that only they planned. So the technology people and engineers are planned. So we need to carry over the device from one place to the another place. So the people can, that is a user. The user can use that device anywhere in this world. So that is why they planned. So how we can do this? So for that, initially they planned to design a walkie-talkie like that. Okay. So how it works? So first of all, they developed, that is they invented a computer. It's a huge large size, correct? That is a room size level. So it's not suitable, right? Then working level also too poor. So later on, for communication purpose, they introduced that landline and all, correct? So even though we have the landline, but we can use that mobile at home itself. We cannot carry through our outside of home, correct? So for that, that also okay, but it cannot attain our needs, correct, as sufficient. So that is why they planned. So we need to make this device to mobile. That is, we need to carry over from one place to the another place. So that is why initially they planned with the simple devices. Okay, but with the simple devices, they can use the standardized form. So before that, you want to know that what is the meaning for standardized and what is the meaning for customized. So the standardized meaning means if you are using the thing, okay, if I'm giving anything means you can use it, that you can throw it, or you can keep it. That's it. You cannot modify in it. You understand? Standard is a thing, you can use it, but you cannot modify. Okay, customize is a thing you can use, but you can also modify. For example, if you are going to install that Microsoft Office 2010 or 2013, so what you are doing in your laptop or in your desktop, you are going to install. Initially, you have one exe file, correct? So if in that exe file, initially you are double click that. So double clicking, it open that. It shows the messages. It is a Office MS Microsoft Office 2010 or 13. Then after you want to click next. So it shows the some license agreement. Then you need to enter the key, correct? So then after in the next screen, it shows standardized, that is a standard, and the other one is a customized. So here also you can know that. So what will do if you are clicking the standard? If you are clicking the standard, it will go automatically install the software. So what will happen here? So what are the features? What are the features that and all given by the Microsoft you want to use entirely without modification? Understand, right? Even though they can give 10 features means you want to use the 10 modification itself. You cannot modify, you cannot raise it and you cannot reduce it. So that is the standard. Then what is customize? So if you are clicking the customize means it is not directly installing the software. It goes to the next screen and it will ask you, so what are all the software you want to install? Okay, it will ask you. Okay, then you can choose. So these are the software. I want a Microsoft Word, I want Microsoft Excel, that's it. So though you can minimize your memory size, correct? So you can customize your task, that is you customize your needs. You no need to spend extra money for that, right? So even though you can spend a memory, that also some cost, right? So for that purpose, they introduce the name of customize. So understand, standard is a name, that is a thing you can use all whatever the company give, you want to use it. So customize is a thing, even though they can company give, you can reduce it or you can increase the feature of the task. So this is the thing. So initially they can customize the mobiles. Okay, they can customize the phone. So sorry, they can standardize the phone. So what are the features they are given by the company? You just keep it and you can use it. You cannot modify it. So that is the initial stage. That is, we can say as a standard. So later on they planned. So if you are given like this, means the peoples are not interested. Okay. because they want a new feature means they want to go for the new device, correct? So that is not a well versed thing, correct? That is not a well versed thing. So engineers are the plan. So even though we having device, how we can make it as customize, okay? That is why they plan to, they can go for the some other operating system platforms by using Android, iOS, then Microsoft. So the latter lot of things, okay? So in this, in our India as a Asia continent, we are preferred for the Android. Why we are preferred for the Android? Even though they're having the iOS, but when compared to the iOS, the cost wise, okay, the cost wise, it is low, okay. For our Indian peoples, we are a moderate and middle class peoples. We are not a much more rich peoples, right? Most of the 90 to 95% of peoples. So they are not willing to invest a much more higher cost of price in the mobiles. So that is why the engineers are planned to how to introduce the mobiles with a low cost. So then only they initially planned to introduce the Android. First of all, you want to so why the Europe? What is the major advantage of Androids? So in the one more thing, for development purpose, when compared to iOS, Android is much more easier. Then cost wise also much more lower. Then one more thing, if you're a developer going to develop one application means if he want to place that application in the Play Store, then he need to pay the price of every year in the iOS. You first of all understand, for iOS, the developer want to pay the money for that specific application to place that APK, that is that application in the Play Store for every year. Okay, 7,000 to 8,000. But Android, it is not necessary. If you are going to place one application, if you are paying one time, okay, around $25 it is. If you are paying one time $25 at initially, you can use that Play Store for lifelong. They can give the user credential, then you can use that for lifelong. That is a lifetime at any cost. Okay, that you can place any number of applications. Okay, so that is why the cost wise also. Then one more thing, nowadays when compared to iOS, they are trying to give more features. Okay, that is a more features in Android. See here, at the initially, the iOS having the fingerprint option, audio recognition, that is a voice recognition. But nowadays, later on, after version of 9, they are, Google also try to introduce it. They are not tried, they are already introduced. Right, they are introduced this feature and all. So that is why we are when we are going for the Android. So understand, right, why we are went for the mobile. This is the right for major advantages. This is the customized one. So customized one means we can add, or we can, whatever the task we need, we can add it, then you can use it. If you don't want means you can delete it. That is one of the feature. Then one more thing, the cost wise it should be a reduced when compared to the iOS. What about the Microsoft Play Store also, right? Well, then one more disadvantage in the uh, Microsoft is, even if a developer developing 10 applications, okay, that is in Play Store. That means if a developer develop the 10 application, then he can place in the Play Store as a 10 application means. But in Microsoft Play Store, they don't have the 10 applications. They can develop only 7 to 8 applications. You go and search that. Some of the softwares are missed in the Microsoft. So that and all the major disadvantage in the Microsoft. We cannot get all the software in the Microsoft Play Store. So that is why we are went for the cost wise more or less they are equal only. But we cannot get all the features. Okay. So that is why we are going for that Android. So you can understand, right? So what is mobility? Mobility is a thing you can move the device from one place to the another place. So what is the use of it? We can use that. We can it should be used anywhere in the world. Within the static, we can move from one place to the another place. Then one more thing, why we are going for Android? Cost wise, and then also security also nowadays it should be increased. These are the main advantage in the Android. So okay, then I already said what is Android and all. So okay, then one more thing, what is and then one more thing. Actually, if I'm going to introduce some new technology, means I need to plan, right? So what are the technology I need to use? So is it a new technology or is it a new old technology? So these and all things I need to estimate, correct? So in that Android also they are estimated. So most of the people are think about this Android is a new technology, but actually the Android is not a new technology. It is a 18th century technology they implemented. They rearranged, they are implemented. So what is the name of the technology they are used in the 18th century is a Betronics. Okay, so they are used in the 18th century as the technology of Betronics. So the Google searched that, then they can modify it, remodified that, they can introduce nowadays named as a Android. So okay, then one more thing, you are what is the OS that is a for developing the drivers. Okay, I will tell what is driver under later. For developing drivers, they are using the Linux kernel. Okay, for developing the drivers, they're using the Linux kernel. For developing the Android applications, they're using the core Javas initially. Nowadays, they can move to the PHP later on. But if you are want to get the full feature, means you want to develop in the core Java nowadays. Okay, then later on they use the Android OS, right? So for developing the Android OS, they used, okay, for developing the Android OS, they use the C, okay, native C. So you can segregate it. For developing the drivers, they use the Linux kernel. For developing the OS, they are used the C. For developing the Android applications, they use the core Java. Then later on they can use the hybrid versions also. That is a PHP, then JavaScript, lot of things they can. But major of the things they use the core Java and Kotlin. So then one more thing. So who introduced this Android means the Google. Okay. So nowadays, you know, right? Who is that CEO of Inish? Nowadays, Sundar Pichai is the CEO of Alphabet. So what is Alphabet and what is that actually? Alphabet is the parent company. So in this world, Alphabet is the parent company. Underneath the top, okay, underneath the top, there is a lot of child companies. So within that, one of the child companies named as a Google. Okay, so you come to know. So initially, Sundar Pichai should be the owner, that not a owner, CEO of that Google. Later on, he achieved a lot of things. So they can plan to move to the CEO of the parent company that is named as a Alphabet. So Sundar Pichai only initially they planned, okay, they having he having the team, Sundar Pichai and the team are planned. They are having the taken the ownership, and they introduced the Android. So you can understand. So who introduced the Android? Initially Google introduced the Android. Then which team they can develop in? Sundar Pichai and their team. Initially they can own their ownership and they developed the Android applications. Okay, later on they can move towards a lot of companies nowadays, but initially they having the ownerships. Then I already said, so we need a core Java. There is a Java code to develop the native Android application. There is a two type of Android application. One is a native Android, another is a hybrid. So through the native only you can develop 100% of Android applications, but you can develop the application through the hybrid also, but you cannot achieve 100%. You can achieve until 80 to 90% only. So okay, so most probably they are preferred for native Android, because when compared to fast and user wise features also, it's a good. Okay, that is a core Java, or else you can use the Kotlin also. Sir, the screen should be visible, right? Visible. இது rotate ஆயிட்டு இருக்குங்களா இல்லை நீ ஷேர் பண்றீங்களா? இருக்குல்ல? ஹலோ
Yes,
ஹலோ
it visible now, sir.
ஓகே.
Visible,
இல்லை
visible.
இது ப்ரொனன்சியேஷன் ஓகேங்களா இல்லை ஸ்லோவாக பண்ணுமா? இது நார்மல் ஓகேங்களா? இட் ஷுட் பி
Normal,
ஓகே.
normal. Okay.
ஓகே சார், என்ன ஸ்ட்ரக் ஆகுதுன்னா சொல்லுங்க, நான் மறுபடியும் வந்து சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு. ஓகேங்களா? Students,
Sure,
if you
sir.
have any doubt means, ஓகேங்களா, if you have any doubts on that PPT means, please let me know. On that time
Sure.
itself, I will repeat it. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Then one more thing. So these are the sample devices initially they introduced. Okay, these are the sample devices initially they
Yes, sir. Yes,
introduced
sir.
for
It is
the.
full.
Yes, sir, visible now.
Okay. இது pronunciation ஓகேங்களா? Okay. Okay. Okay, so these are the device initially they introduced. Okay, initially they introduced for Android application. So when they introduced the Android at the time of 1999, around 2000. Okay, around 2000 they already introduced the Android application. So for when compared to that other olden day device, this should be compatible, so they can carry over from one place to the another place. Then also they can modify the applications. Okay, they can add and delete the application, so as they expecting, that is what are the software they need, they can install. If they don't want mean, they can uninstall. So these are the feature they already attained. So initially these are the mobile they used. So later on we are moved to the tablets. So, okay, see here, what is tablet? First of all, you want to know. Initial days, I already said initial days, we have the electronic device. Okay, that is a computer. It is a huge size. So what is the disadvantage? It is a huge size, so we cannot move forward from one place to the another place. Correct. So later on, we are moved to the laptop also, desktop as well, laptop. But in olden days laptop, as the weight weighs, okay, that is a weight of the laptop is around 5 to 10 kg. So it is not easy to carry from one place to the another place. So later on they can move forward from, they can try to reduce the weight also. Okay, but when compared to the tablet, the laptops are not easy to carry. Correct, we need to take more care of that, right? So for that purpose they can plan. So but even though we have the laptop, but it is not easy to carry. Okay, in the trusting places or in some other places it is not easy to carry, right? So for that they can plan. So we need a huge device, but it should be easy to carry. Okay, but it should attain the what are the features that and all in the laptop, we need to attain it. So that is why they can plan to move forward to the tablets. See here, even though we have nowadays we have the laptop size of 10 inch or 12 inch, right? So even though we having the 10 inch laptop, they already introduced the tablets also around 8 to 9 inches. Okay, but when compared to the weight wise, okay, when compared to the weightage, the tablet is much more lower weight, right? So we can carry from one place to another place easily. Then one more advantage, if you are going for video calling, okay, if you are going for video calling, you are seeing some conference videos or movies and thing means, if you are going to see in the mobile, okay, so mobile having the smaller screen, correct? So it is not visible, is not easy to understand. Okay, not easy means, if you are seeing the image in the big screen means that is different, the image in the small screen means that is different, correct? So for that purposes also they already introduced the tablets. So they can achieve the two ways, they can reduce the weight, then also they can achieve the what are the feature that and all in the laptops they can attain it. So screens also, so the screen size of the tablet, that is much more higher when compared to the smaller size mobiles. So you can understand, right? So initially they introduced the mobiles to carry forward from one place to another place, but in that the image size and somewhat the features are not attained easily. So for to attain that features, they can went for that tablets. So they can carry easily. Then also they attain what are the features that are in the laptops. Okay, then thing we want to know. So if you are going to study the Android means, okay, first of all, you want to know how should it get works. Okay. So if you are going to install, okay, if you are going to install the application, it should be the mobile should be divided into the 4 layers. Okay. So you want to know, so what are the layers? First of all, the underneath layer, that is a last red layer. Okay, last red layer is a Linux kernel. Okay, so what are the things it having means it contains a set of hardware. So what, for example, you having the mobiles, correct? So in the mobiles, you are having the mobile Wi-Fi hardware, Bluetooth hardware, then memory card, then uh, SIM slot. So lot of thing is there, right? So these are the hardware. So what is the use of the hardware? So first of all, if you're going for that one communication device, it should be divided into two things. One is a majorly divided into two things. One is software and one is a hardware. So intermediate, there is a networking also is there. So here also the same thing. Okay, first of all, they should divide it into the two part. One is a hardware part, another is a software part. So last Linux kernel part having the hardware ports. So what are the hardwares initially we have, nowadays we have? So nowadays we have that Wi-Fi hotspot, then Bluetooth, then we have the external memory, internal memory. So these are the hardware. So the what is the use of the hardware? So what are the things you have outside of the mobile? You need to store or you need to transfer the data from one person to the another person, right? So you cannot directly transfer it. So if you are going to store some data or your data, but means you need a that is a you need a hard disk or you need a memory card, right? So for that purpose, that is memory card is a one of the hardware. So for that is a one of the last layer. So that is a one of the last layer that should be it. What is the feature? It should contain the information. Otherwise, it is help to transfer the information from one place to the another place. So the last layer is the hardware layer. So the hardware layers contains the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, etc., etc. Okay, but it use it to capture the information. That's it, or store the information. So then the third layer. So that is a green layer. So uh, even though you having that is hardware, you need to make it as a function, right? Even though you're having that bike or you having the car, it is one of the hardwares, but you need to make it as a function. So what do you want to do? You need to drive it, right? So here also the same thing here. Okay, you want to do. So we having the memory card, you having that Wi-Fi, you having the Bluetooth, you want to make it to drive. That means you want to make it to work, correct? So for that purposes, to make it works, we need to write some set of coding. So already I said right. So we need to write some set of coding that is named as a driver. So the driver and all written in the language of Linux kernel. Okay. So why they are went for the Linux kernel means that is more secure, then also that is a lightweight. Okay, that is more secure, that is a lightweight. So that is why they went for the Linux kernel. So understand, right? So last layer is a hardware layer that should be a static. So we make that hardware to works. Okay, we make the hardware to works. So for that we need to write some set of coding. So that set of coding should be in the form of Linux kernel that we named as a drivers. Okay, alternately we can say as a libraries. So library we no need to install. Already the owner, okay, the owner or the company person also already they given. You just pick it and we can plug in. Okay, we no need to do anything. They already did all the things within the OS also. So that makes the hardware to function. Okay. Then third layer, that is a second layer, application framework. So this is, we can say, as a service layer. So first of later on I will explain what is service and all. First I will give the brief explain this. So what is service means, you can do the task, you cannot do the task. That mobile hardware device can do the task at behind, that is run at the background. Okay, that not the background, that also in front foreground. I will tell what is the difference between background and foreground. But you cannot handle that task. Understand? Service is a task that you cannot be handled. You cannot handle that service task. So who handle that service task? The service tasks and all handled by the application itself. Application or operating system itself handle that service tasks. Okay. So what is the some example means, if you are sending the messages, okay, if you are sending the SMS and all, so how it works, you can just text, okay, you just type the text, then automatically the encryption, decryption and all happen. How it's happen? That and all not done by you, that and all done by the mobiles, correct? So that and all considered as a services. So understand? So service is a thing that cannot be handled by you, so that it should be handled by the device. So for encryption and decryption purpose, for make it as a secured data transfer. Then first layer is the application layer. So this layer only you can able to handle. So you can handle that. For example, you are installing the WhatsApp, right? You can install the WhatsApp, Facebook, or you can install any Truecaller. So what are the things you can be managed? Okay, you can be control means that control comes under the application layer. So you can give the inputs, you can get the outputs. So if you are typing the chatting in that WhatsApp means you can give the inputs, right? Then you can, so the thing which you can interact with the mobile, okay, the application which you cannot interact with that mobiles or OS, that and all comes under the application layer. So one second I will summarize it. So first of all, last layer is a hardware layer. That is an ideal layer. Initially, it should not works. So it having some hardware devices, memory cards, internal, external, then Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, then a lot of network devices are there. So it should be initially idle. So I need to make it as a work. So how it works? We need to write some set of coding. So that coding we can say as a driver. That and all comes under the third layer. By using the third layer, we will make the hardware to works. Okay. Then apart from this, we can go for the second layer. So what is the use of second layer? So what are the tasks we are doing? We need make that task to secure. Okay, we need to transfer or we need to do something in a secure format. So to do the task, that should not be handled by us. Okay, that should be handled by the mobile or operating system. Okay, operating system, that and all run at the background, so we cannot handle it. That and all comes under the third layer, second layer. That layer we can say as a service layer. Then first layer is a, you can handle it. Okay, first layer you can handle it, you can see it, and you can give the input text and you can get the output. So chatting and video calling, that and all, you can able to see that, you can interact with the mobile. That is the first layer. Okay, then I already said, right? So these are the some sample softwares. Okay, these are the some sample softwares we can install in the Android application. Email, Gmail, you know, right? Gmail, then for SMS we are using a Truecaller. Then lot of customized SMS application is there. Then calendar, then Google Map. So initially they are introduced these applications for customized application to use in the Android. But nowadays, later on, they introduce a lot of mobiles. So sorry, lot of applications. So these are the sample application which and all we use in that Android. Okay, so here you want to know that how that application should works. Okay, how the application should works. So these are the different application frameworks. So first frame, what is the view system? See here in the name itself also you can know what is the name of view. The thing the user can able to see. Understand what is the meaning for view? The thing a user can able to see, that is you can say as a view. Here also the same view system means the user can able to interact with the UI, that is a user interface. The user can able to interact with the UI, that is we can say as a view system. For example, you are having the login page of Gmail. Okay, so in the login page you can you are able to type the inputs, your username as a Gmail email and password as anything. Okay, you can able to type it, right? So user can able to see. Okay, the user can able to see and he can able to give the inputs and he can able to get the outputs. Okay, that is visible to the user. That system we can say as a view system. So what are the things? Okay, what are things we are integrate in the view system means? So these are the widgets. It contain the widgets. So what is widgets? First of all, you want to know that widgets are the component which is used to develop the Android applications. Understand? Widget is a set of components. Widget contain the set of component. By using the component, we can develop the Android application. So what are the components? Okay, for example, you have the biscuit packet means that biscuit cover should is considered as a widget. Within that biscuits are contained as a considered as a components. So we can use that component only, not widgets. It's a container. Okay, it acts as a container. We can just for another example, you have a bottle means you can use the bottle for containing the water, but you are not consume the bottle, right? You can consume the water. So like the same, here widget is one of the container. Within that we have a component, so we can consume the components. So what are the some example components? So button is one of the component. Then edit text. So what is edit text? In the email, you having the login page. In the login page, you having the some input text, right? You are typing something, right? That component you named as a edit text. You can able to type that. You can give the enter. You can enter the inputs. So that and all named as a edit text. So then one more thing, they can give the hint. Okay, you cannot able to edit. That is, you can say as a text view. In the text view, you can see the text, but you cannot edit it. But in the input, that is a edit text, you can edit it. Then also you can modify it. That is, you can. These are the some sample widgets. You just note on it. So what is widget? Then you can Google it. Okay. So within 1 hour we cannot cover all the things. Okay, right? So just note on it, people's. What is Android widget? Then what is component? So generally I given some idea. Widget is a container. So within the containers there is a lot of components. So by using the component only, we can then develop the Android applications. Okay. Some example we have buttons, edit text, text view, list view. So I will tell the what is list view and all later on. So then we can go for the content provider. So nowadays only initially they are not introduced the content provider. Later on they use the content providers. So what is a content provider? So content provider is one of the library which make the data to be secure. Okay, it should contain a store or it should be a transfer. But a transfer or even though it is store, it should be in the form of secured. Okay, it should be encrypted. Then after only it store the data. So for example, initially Android having one of the database library. Okay, it is named as a SQLite. Okay, database library, it is named as a SQLite. So what is the use of library? So for generally all the people all know about the database. For IT and CS people, they know about more. So it is used to store the database. So it is used to store the data. So it should be on network or within offline also. So SQLite is one of the database. It should work on offline, not in online. It should work on offline. So we can store the data without internet. Okay, but initially we can store the data in the form of unsecured, not secured form. Not secured form of data should be stored in the SQLite. So later on they can plan it. So if you have stored the unsecured form of data, the hacker can hack the data, then they can use it. So they planned to, we need to secure the data. So for that only, they introduced one of the library, not one library, one of the library named as a content provider. So initially the user can enter the data. Then if you go to store the data means they can encrypt the data. They having the some set of layers. Okay, within the layer they can encrypt the data. Later on modify the encryption. Finally they can store the data in the SQLite. So one of the options, one of the feature of the content provider is used to secure the data and finally stored in the database. Okay, it should be happen the offline. Then one more thing, we can share the data by using the content provider. Example, you are using that Amazon or Flipkart, right? So in the Flipkart, you having the one of the options. So you can refer your friends by using the referral code. Correct? Understand? So here you can refer your friend by using the referral code. So how it's happen? It should not be controlled under yours. Correct. Your friend using the another mobile, you are using the another mobile. Okay. So the data should be communicate from outside of your application. Okay, that data should be communicate outside of your application. So the here how it's work means the content provider helps to secure the data for sharing the data. Okay, it is used initially, it is one of the option. We can share the data by using the content provider. Okay, or you can send the emails, anything. Okay, you can share the data outside of your system. Before you are going to share the data, it should secure the data. Okay, it should encrypt the data, then finally it transfer it. So one of the option I already said, to for referral code to your friend. Okay, so these are the minimal two features in the content provider. So one is used to store in the offline, another is you can transfer the data by using the shared option. For sharing purpose, you're using the content provider. Then third one is a resource manager. So third one is a 1 minute please, sorry. Resource manager. So already we saw, okay, view system. So view system are the default components. Okay, the view system are the default components. We can use it. Then one more thing, I will ask one question. So if you are going for the shop or if you are going to buy some vehicle, so what you are doing? Initially, we went to the shop. Then you can choose it. If you are guys or if you're guys means you can choose the t-shirt or shirts. You are expecting some aesthetic. That means you are choosing some colors, right? These colors I need. So you want some. If you are going to look means it feels good, then only you can choose it. Correct. So if you are choosing the bike also, if you are going to look means you want to choose that means how you can choose. First of all, you can see that is it a good or if you are it's feel good or not, right? So the user also in Android also so look the same. If you are using the default component means it should not looks good. You understand? It will increase their features. Okay, that is it increase the aesthetics. Aesthetic means beauty. Okay, it increase the beauty of the component. Okay, it increase the beauty of the component by using the some extra colors. Okay, example, you are using in that Uber app, correct? If you are clicking that Uber app login button means it that login button will animate. It will give the animation. It will transfer from bottom to the setup. Correct. This kind of animation all done by that resource manager. So what is the use of resource manager? Resource manager is one of the XML file. It contains the some set of coding in the form of CSS. Okay, it contains the coding in the form of CSS. So what is the use of CSS? The CSS is used to give the extra beauty for the component. Okay, so by using the normal component, it is not easy interest to use that application. So right, so for that purpose only, they are trying to give some extra beauty to that component as well as the application. So for that purposes, we need to write set of codings that should be in the language of CSS. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Instead of giving the normal component, they give some aesthetic. That is the beauty of the component. Some animations, then some extra colors. So that and all done by using this resource manager. Then notification manager. So what is a notification manager? So if you are using the Flipkart, right? If you are going to order one pen or book, okay, if you are going to order one book or one pen, means what you will go do? You just search the search that component, that is what is the items, then you click order. So if you click order, what you'll get? You'll get some hint message. Understand, it should not contain the full form of message. It contain some hint message that should be out of control of application. That should not contain, that should not comes inside that of application. Initially it's comes under outside of the application. It is out of control of the application. It contains the hint message for the applications. Okay, that and all we can say as the notification. So how is the notification get works? So notification having some set of servers. There is some library, there is a technology name as a cron job or services, we can say. You just note on if you're going for the PHP and all, you can search that what is cron job. Okay, note on this name as a cron job. So what is the use of cron job? Means it will works when the task is needed. Okay, it should not works all the times. Okay, just like alarm manager. In the Android you can search what is alarm manager. So alarm manager is one of the thing. It should not keeps on running the application at background when you are needed. Okay, when the task is needed, that time only it get works. All the rest of the time it should be idle. It should not get works. So what is the main advantage? Means it avoids the draining battery. Okay, it's avoid the draining batteries. So that is the one advantage. So what is the use of notification? So it having the messaging service and another one is a notification service. It contains the two things, two layers. One is a messaging service layer, another is a notification layer. So what is messaging service layer? So the thing, the data which and all sent by the server. Okay, the data which and all sent by the server, that and all captured by the messaging messaging service. So what is notification service? If you are receiving, okay, when we are receiving the data, that time only, okay, at that time only the notification will display. So rest of the time it should not get works. So understand, there is a two thing. One is messaging service, another one is a notification service. When the data get bind means at that time the messaging service get bind the data. If you are bind that message service get bind the data, that time only that notification manager get works. Then it display the hint message and the part apart, that is outside of the application. Then if you are click that specific notification, then it redirect to the specific application. Then it will give the clear explanation about that product or item. So you need to understand, notification is not a full message. It is a part of message. That is a hint form of message, brief form of message. So if you want to know that explain form of message means you want to click it, then later on it redirect to the application. So within the application, they can give the entire description of the application. Then last one is the activity manager. So if you are using the Android application, So each and every task should be considered as an activity. Example, if you already said you are logging using the login screen. Okay, if you are typing the text, that is one of the activity. If you are clicking the button, that is one of the activity. Okay, if you are moving forward from one page to the another page, that is one of the activity. So whatever the task, okay, whatever the task you are doing in the Android, that each task should be considered as a activity. So these and all manage under the activity manager. Then one more thing, the interview question is a life cycle. Android life cycle, you want to just to go through it. Note on it, Android life cycle. So if you are installing or if you are working on that Android application without the Android life cycle, it never works. Okay, it having the 7 layers: on, start, on, destroy, on, pause, on, resume. So 7 layer is there, you go through it. So what are the use and all? Okay, so if you have any session means, I will explain that and all, because I cannot cover all the thing in the 1 hour. So okay, just to go through it, what is Android life cycle? So you want to know what is activity? Activity is a thing. What are the tasks? Okay, whatever the task you are doing in the Android application, that is you can say as a activity manager. So I can summarize this. What is view system? So view system is a having a widget. Within that widget, we are having the set of component. So by using that component, you can develop the Android application. So what is content provider? It is used to secure the data. You can, some features are, you can store within the offline, that is within the application. Otherwise, you can share the data from one person to the another person in the form of secured. And what is resource manager? We already having the components, but it is a default colors, but we need to give that a beauty for the components, so that for that purpose we can use some coding that is in the form of CSS. Okay, then what is notification manager? Notification is a some set of message. It should be a hint message, not a full explanation. It's a brief message. It is a brief message, so it can notify you this should be done. So it should works outside of the application. So what is activity manager? So activity is a thing, whatever the task you are doing inside the applications, even a single task touch or moving from one place to the another screen means each and everything, each and every task that we can say as a activity. Okay, nowadays we are using the Google Map, right? Location manager. So I will give what is location. What is, first of all, I can tell the what is Google Maps and what is location manager. So what is the use of Google Map? It is used to show the locations. Where is the user, and then one more purpose. For traveling purposes, we are using the Google Maps. 1 minute. 1 minute, please.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the interruption. So now you can hear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you want to know what is location manager. So what is the use of location manager? It should be used in the Google Maps. So if you are go to the Google Maps, as the user side, you can know what is the location and address. But as a student, as a engineering student, you want to know how it works first of all. So location manager is one of the thing. Okay, one of the task. It will identify the location. It will identify the location by using the some codes. That code is named as a latitude and longitude. If by 10th standard and 12th standard, you are also know, right, by using the graph. So what is the use of graph? It will point out some location, right? So it initially we are generally using the x and y coordinates, but commonly we having the three coordinates x, y, and z. But z is not mandatory, right? By using the x and y, we can make the diagram. So here also the same latitude, longitude, and altitude is there. But altitude is optional. We don't need the altitude. So by using the coordinates, so the coordinates contain the latitude and longitude. So latitude should contain say as a x and longitude say as a y. Okay. Example, if you are in a Trivandrum means, so Trivandrum having some set of coordinates. So for example, 80 comma 20 or 30 comma 20. So okay, you can go and search in the Google. So what is the coordinate for the Trivandrum? So they can give the some double form, floating number or double number. Okay, you can see here, right? Here also, no, they can give the kilometer only, but it should be a x and y comma format, xy comma format. So by using the xy comma format only, you can identify the location. So see here, it should be initially segregated into two places, one having the server place, another one is your user place. So initially you can locate your position. Okay, you can locate your position by using the coordinates. How can you get the coordinates? You can get the coordinates of the geo system by using GPS, that is global positioning system, or using the internet also you can get it. Okay, so for that, first of all, you need to enable the GPS. So what the GPS will do means, if you are enabling the GPS means, initially go and hit the satellite. Okay, so Google having the set of satellite. Okay, it covers the 360 degree. That is a global. So it covers the 360 degree of global. Then it will identify they having the server. So within the server they can map. They having the database. Then they already mapped this coordinate having mentioned as this address. Okay, if I'm in Chennai means 70 comma 20 is named as a Tambra means they already mapped it. For this mapping, for this coordinate, this is the correct address. So for that they already mentioned it. So then you can give the, so now you can get the some basic idea. So how it works, initially you are on the mobile, initially you are on the GPS system, then the GPS system go and communicate with the satellite, then satellite will get communication to the server. In the server for the specific coordinates, that GPS will gather some coordinate, right? That specific coordinates will search on that Google system for the specific coordinates. It will get the specific address, then return to the satellite, then satellite return to the mobile. Then by using the marker, okay, by using the marker means there is some bubble icon, right? That is we can say as a marker. So if you are clicking the marker, then they can give some notification. So that notification contain the address. Okay, so how it works means, you just note on the keyword geocoding and reverse geocoding. So geocoding contains the coordinates. By using the coordinates, then it reverse that address, revert into the address. You note on the name geocoding and reverse geocoding. By using the geocoding and reverse geocoding only, this Google map get works. So if you are going to develop the Google map means, you need to gather some API keys. Okay, so that API key should be generated depend on the your developing system. It is not common for all. It is changed from each and every user. Okay, you can search on what is API and all. You can search it for the Google. Okay, so by using the API only, the Google map get enabled. If you don't have the API means, the Google map never get enabled. So once again I summarize it. So if you are going to the Google map means, first of all you need to get the API key. So then using the API key you need to develop it. So after develop it, by using the GPS, initially it get the coordinate of the geolocation. That geolocation coordinate should be sent to the satellite, and satellite will transfer that coordinates to the Google server. That Google server will match that reputation, that is a related address. Then it gather from the server, then revert back to the satellite, then satellite revert back to the mobile system. Finally it's displayed in the map. Okay, so you can change it the marker anyway, anything as you need. Okay, so Uber it shows some different form. Then some other there is a lot of traveling system, right? So as they can customize it. Okay, they can customize it and they can use it. So if you want to calculate the distance between the two coordinates, means there is some lot of algorithm is there. So how it works means, for example, you are using the Google Map. You are traveling from Kerala to Tamil Nadu, any some other Madurai place means. First of all, it takes a Kerala Trivandrum as a source location. Then here Madurai is a destination location. Okay, so initially it takes the source location coordinates. That is a Trivandrum location XY coordinates. Then it what are the already set? It's sent to that server. Then you can get it. So it initially get the coordinates. Then finally it goes to the destination coordinates. Okay, then it calculate the distance. There is some algorithm is there. By using the algorithm, they can calculate the shortest distance as well as the kilometers. Okay, distance of the path. Then by using that, there is a marker. Then also there is some drawable lines, drawable path. By using that, they can draw the pathway. Okay, so these are the feature they already introduced. Then one more thing, for your learning purposes, they can use until limited hits. Limited hits means if you are gathering one coordinates, 1 comma 1 is a one coordinate, right? That one coordinate you can say as a one hit. If the value get changed to 1 comma 2 means that should be say as a second hit. It should be changed to 1 comma 3 means it should be it should be considered as a third hit. Per day you can use until nowadays you can use 2500 hits only. So if it goes outside of 2500 hits, your map cannot be displayed. Why means until 2500 only it should be a free version. Afterwards it should be a priced. Okay, so price should be changed as day to day as that dollars value. Okay, you can check it if you want means. So this should be understand, right? If you want any query means please let me know. So now I can go to the next slide. Okay. So notification manager already said, right? So what is the use of notification manager? So it is one of the hint message. It will make aware of the user. It will make the aware of the user to know what status is it. Like if you are order some item means, so it will store that this is the status you are already added. So then you will get this item by this considered date. Like that they can give the hint message. Then already I said notification should be of the application. Okay, that should be handled by the server. They can throw the data, then messaging server service will gather the data. The notification server only shows the data what is the server already given by the server, then it display it. If you click that notification, it will redirect to the concern application. Okay, already I said, right, some view system, these are the components. So within the widgets, these are the components. So the first slide having the layouts. See here, if you are going to develop that one of the application means you cannot directly implement the components. Example, if you are writing some, if you are writing the exam, right? You cannot you cannot write that letters directly, right? In the air. How you can write? By using the booklet only you can write, right? Even though if you are writing something the text in the text board, you need a board, whiteboard or blackboard, right? So here also the same. Okay, if you are going to place some component means you need some layers. Okay, that is a base layer. So that base layer having different, one is a linear layer, relative layer, coordinate layer, then constraint layer. There is a lot of layer. So what is the use of layer? This layer will capture the component and bind with itself. Okay, so it is just like a biscuit packet. So what are the biscuits it have? It should be contained within it. Okay, we cannot directly pay without a cover. You cannot do it. So same here also. Without this layer, you cannot develop any component. So that is the first layer. That is a linear layer or linear layers. Anything layouts. So you just to find out what it's Android layouts. Android layouts. So and then second is the first one is the image view. So you have the WhatsApp, right? In the WhatsApp, you have the profile images, then your friends images, right? So that and all you can set by this image view. So to display the images. Then second one is already said. This is the editable one. That is, you can say edit text. You can give the inputs to the application. Then third one is the checkbox. So for multi-selection, if you are going to order your mobile means, what you are doing? You are selecting that I need this much of RAM size, I need this much of memory, I need this much of display size. Though this is the several options, right? For selecting the several option, you need to go for that checkbox. To selecting the single options, okay, if you are choosing the genders, male or female, so for that purposes you are using the checkbox. Okay, first one is the multi selection, that is a first one is a checkbox, second one is a radio button. Okay, second one is a radio button. So radio button is used to select the single item. Then third one is a toggle button. So what is the use of toggle button? Means it is used for the on and off condition. So where it and all is used for Wi-Fi on and off, Bluetooth on and off, internet on and off, right? So for that purposes, they are using this toggle button for two-way uses. That is on and off conditions. Then last layer is a grid layer. That is a grid view. So what is the use of grid view? So in that grid view, for example, you have in the lakhs of data. You have the lakhs of friends. In the WhatsApp, first page it having the set of friends, right? That layer you can say as the list view. Okay, within the list view, you can say the single information. But you having 10s or 20 minutes should be okay. You having the lakhs of friends, and what will do? You should not display. It takes times to scroll down. So for that purpose, you need to minimize the visibility, right? See here within the single row, you are able to see the 3 items, right? So it minimize the 1/3, right? So to minimize the visibility, we need to go for the grid view. So we can it should be a two items or 3 item or 4 item. It may be depends on your developments. Okay, it should be changed. But within the single layer, we can add n number of items. That is the use of grid view. It will minimize the view systems. Okay, already said, right, this first one is the edit text. You can able to edit the items. Second one is already said, this is the list view. Okay, you can add a single item in a single row. Then third one is a web view. So what is web view? First of all, you know, if you're going to the Amazon or if you are going to some other applications, okay, if the user, that application depends on the web application. What is web application? It depends on the Google Chrome or Firefox, okay, that relate to the internet, okay, that works outside the application. For example, if I am going to see the Google Chrome, okay, if you want to see the Google inside the application, means if the user having the Google Chrome only, they can able to see the Google. Suppose if the user not having the Google Chrome, means even though if he clicking that link, it cannot goes to the Google Chrome because it do not having the web application features. Okay, do not having the web application features. So for that, what we need to do? We need to install the extra software, either Google Chrome or Firefox. So, but this is not a correct scenario, right? Because not all the user don't having the Google Chrome or Firefox. So for the alternate purpose of Google Chrome or Firefox, Android itself having the web browsing option. Okay, Android itself having the web browsing option within the layout. That layout we named as a web view. Okay, if you are implementing the web view means if you are clicking the link, it do not goes outside of the application. That means it cannot searching for the Google Chrome. So it will search the Google Chrome within the application. So you can find it. Web view is one of the web application view. It should be works within the Android application. It cannot search or depend on the third party application. Okay. So it is one of the purpose is used for browsing purpose. Okay. So instead of Google Chrome, you can browse it within the Android application, your own application itself. So that is the use of web view. So these are the some hardwares you are used for networking. So already nowadays 4G, lot of things, right? The last one is the Wi-Fi, that is IEEE format. So Bluetooth, then Wi-Fi, then lot of internet purpose. We having anything dongle, anything. So these are the networking device already inbuilt thing that and all introduced in the Androids. Then software development. So these are the primary software you need to install in your system. Okay. So for developing purpose, nowadays you can use the Android Studio. Okay, for Java, actually, if you are going to develop the Android application, means you needed two things. One is Java, another is Android SDK. So what is the use of Java? If you are going to develop the logics, okay, if you are going to develop the logic means, so what is logic? If you are doing some additional or subtraction, right? So that and all we can say as a logics. If you are doing some multiplication calculation means that is one of the logic. If you are doing some addition means that is one of the logical you are implemented, right? So that logic and all written in the coding of Java. Okay, the logical things and all written in the coding of Java. Okay, but even though you having Java, you need to perform that Java application into the Android application, right? You need to convert the Java code into the APK format. So for that purpose, we need a SDK, Android SDK. So Android SDK having some set of library that is used to convert the Java coding into the Android applications. You understand, right? So Java is a set of platform is used to develop the logics. Even though we having the logic, you need to convert into the Android application. So for that, we need some set of libraries. That set of libraries are inbuilt in the Android SDK. So that Android SDK only converts the Java coding into the Android application for usable purpose. Okay. So in the Android SDK also having some sample codes for our testing purpose. Then also it having some emulators. So what is emulator? First of all, you know, if you are a developer, okay, if you are joining on the company means, so for development purpose, they will give at least one or two mobiles only, not more than two mobiles, right? Why means they can give some cut off cost, okay, but in that practical life, each and every user having the several mobile, okay. The companies are not willing to buy the not buying all the mobiles, correct? So for that purpose, Google itself also having the default software mobiles, okay. Default software mobiles we can say as a emulator, okay. So we can install or download whatever the OS, okay, whatever the OS you need for the testing, you can deploy it in the emulator, then you can test it. Then you can install n number of OS. You can install version KitKat, you can install Marshmallow, you can install Oreo, you can install Nougat, anything you can install within the emulator, then you can test it. So that is the use of emulator. So emulator will works alternative of the mobile, okay. For testing purpose you can use it. You can search it what is you can emulator, you can note on it emulator, then you can find it what is use. It is the thing alternate, it will works alternative for the mobiles. Okay, so SDK main purpose means it is used to convert the Java code into the Android code, and also it having the sample codes of Android, and also it having the emulator for testing purpose. So the same thing should be here they said. So Android having the libraries, then emulators, then set of codes, already said. So we can use the Eclipse also, but right now you can use the Android Studio. Okay, that is best because they Google already developed the default software. If you are going, even though you can develop the Eclipse, but you need to install the extra plugins. Okay, so that plugins are all already installed in the Android Studio. So for that only, I preferred Android Studio tool. So by initially also I said Android is what is the main advantage of Android is it is cost wise reducing. Then also you can purchase the Android easily. Then it also having set of sample code within it. So for development purpose also it is easy. So these are the major advantage in this Android. Okay, so then one thing, these are the some inbuilt task in the Androids. So already I said what is activity. So activity is one of the thing, whatever the task you are doing, that and all comes under the activity. Then indent, okay, indent, within the indent only intent receiver will come. So first of all, you want to know what is indent. If you are moving from one place, or otherwise you are transferring the data from one place to the another place, means that is you can say as a indent. Once again I will say, you will transfer the data from one place to the another place or one page to the another page. That is we can say as a indent library. Okay, actually indent can be divided into two types. One is a explicit indent, another one is a implicit indent. So first of all, I want to know what is explicit intent. You are using one application or using the Flipkart. Okay, in the Flipkart you are searching the any items as a pen. Initially in the first page it shows the hint of the pen, right? But it contains the detail of the pen in the first page. If you are clicking that pen, then it will redirect to the another page. It contain all the detail of the pens, right? So it will transfer the same image to the second page, correct? Transfer the same image to the second page. So it will transfer within the application. Understand? If you are transferring the data within the application, that is you can say as a explicit indent. Okay, then alternative, if you are transferring the data outside of the application, already I said, right, sharing for chatting or email or SMS, okay, that and all not happen within the application. If you are transferring the data from one application to the other user, that is you can say as a implicit intent. If you are transfer the data within the application, that is you can say as a explicit intent. So what is the use of intent? It will transfer the data from one place to the another place. Okay, service also already said it is run in the background. See here, service mainly it should having the two type. Mainly I said, but there is a lot of type. Mainly we have two types. One is a background service, another is a foreground service. So what is for background service? Name it also serves the task which should be run in the background. For example, if you are running the music, okay, MP3. Initially you went to that, initially you are going to the MP3 player and you are selected a song, then it will get play. Even though you come out of that application, it get placed, right? Even though you are coming outside of the application at the home page, the music should be placed. So how it's happened? It should be run at the background, but you cannot see that. Okay, you cannot see what should be run at the background. So that is you can say as a background service. Then alternate is a foreground service. So it should be handled by the hardware or OS, but you can able to see. You can able see. What is the example mean? You are downloading the MP3, right? You can downloading the MP3. It will show 30% should be downloaded, 40% should be downloaded. So you can see that how much data should be downloaded, right? So, but you cannot handle it. Okay, services you cannot generally should not handle it, but you can say you able to see it means that is a foreground service, but you cannot able to see means that should be a background service. then content provider. So already I said content provider is used to store the form of the secured data. Okay, so I'll summarize it. What is activity? If you are doing any task in the application, that is we can say as a activity. So what is intent? Intent is a data transfer. It is transfer from one place to the another place. If you are transferring within the application, that is explicit intent. If you are transferring outside the application, that is implicit intent. So what is service? The service is a task that should not be handled by the user. It having the two types. One is a background service, another is a foreground service. So background service is a task that the user cannot see. Okay, foreground service is a task the user can able to see. User able to see. Okay, example, MP3 download, file downloads. Okay, what is content provider? It is used to secure the data at initial itself, I said. The same thing here also, intent. So these are the samples. So you are calling, okay? So call and all you are not handle. It should transfer your voice from one place to the another place, right? So that is one type of intent. So what is this type of intent? This is the implicit intent. It should not handle within this mobile. Okay, it should be, you can transfer the data from one place to the another place. That is implicit intent. So these are the some examples. Okay, so emailing, chatting, so then contacts. Okay, you are retrieve the contact from outside of our application to your application, right? That is one type of intent. Okay, so these are the some sample application for the intents. Service also already said, so it should not be handled by the user. Okay, it should be run at the backgrounds. So okay, that's it, students. So nowadays we are used a lot of things through the Androids. We are move forward to the Androids because we are not time to sit into the system and we can do the task. So for that only we are moved to the handheld device. That is, we can say as a one of the devices is a Android device. Okay, it reduce the task as well as reduce the times. So these are the main features, main advantage of the Androids. Okay, anything question means please let me know. சார் என்ன டவுட் இருந்தால் உங்களுக்கு என்ன டவுட் இருந்தாலும் சொல்கிறேன் கேட்குதுங்களா?
Sir, sir, one student asked the question, as a user, how can I modify the existing API, sir?
எக்ஸிஸ்டிங் ஏபி, அதாவது ஏபிஐன்றது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது பேக்ரவுண்டில் தான் ரன் ஆகும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து ஏபிஐ வந்து ரெண்டு டைப்பாக பிரிப்போம் ஜென்ரலி. ஒன்று வந்து மேப் ஏபிஐன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. தமிழில் சொல்லட்டுமா இங்கிலீஷில் சொல்லட்டுங்களா?
English please.
Okay.
Come in English, sir.
Okay. Actually, API have been generally divided into two things. The things which and all run in the, for example, you have the Flipkart, right? That Flipkart data, that and all handled by the server. The data and all, which and all contained in the server. So we need to retrieve the data and send to the Android mobile. So for that, we are writing some set of coding, background coding. That is a background coding. That is, we can say as a service. So that coding and all, it throws them data, right? That is in the form of JSON. So that one we can say as a one API. So if you want to modify it means, okay, then one more thing, you cannot modify the Google Map API and all. Whatever they can given, you can just pick it and you can use it. You can modify the data, input data only you can modify. Apart from, you cannot modify the libraries. In that Google Map, you can just use the libraries, then you can customize your inputs. But in services, okay, that is a API services, that is a JSON format, you can change it. How you can change it means you need to go to the backend service code. That may be one of the option as a Java or PHP, anything. Then you can modify the coding. Then one more thing, with the help of ownership, okay, with the help, if you have ownership only, you can able to modify the API. Otherwise, you cannot modify. You need to generate your own API. So without owner or admin permission, we cannot modify anything. You understand, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Then one more question, sir. What is the difference between APK and SDK?
Actually, SDK it's contain the set of libraries, and already I said having set of libraries, and it having some set of emulator sample codes. So if you are going to develop something, means you can just pick up from that. You can pick up some set of codings and pick up some libraries from the SDK, and you can use it. That is SDK. Okay. That, but it will then also it is used to convert the Java code into the Android code by using the SDK libraries.
Okay.
That is the SDK usage. What is APK means? After developing all the code, you need to convert that code into the encrypted form. Okay. So even though you are developing the code, you cannot give the code to the user end. Correct. You are giving some form of APK. That is, you are going to download some application from that Play Store, means that and all encrypt form of packages. Okay, that contain all the features. Okay, not all the codes. That is encrypted form of code. That bundle of encrypted form of code we can say as a APK. APK that only the user can able to install within the mobile. You cannot directly install that SDK. SDK is one of the thing you can pick up the library that is used for the development purpose. APK is one of the package that is used for the user purpose. Okay, that is the final output.
Okay.
Final output is APK. SDK is the for development purpose. Okay, library.
Sir, as well as one more question, last question, sir. So, is there is any constraint for update of your Android software? Sir?
Yes,
It's
yes,
mandatory to
definitely.
update.
Yeah, there is some constraint actually based on the companies. Actually, initially you cannot upgrade the old mobile after 4.4, right? So based on that hardware device only it should be. So they can give that limit. You can upgrade until 4.4 or 5.5. After that, we cannot do that. There is some constraint is there. If you want to go for a new version, means you can to purchase a new one. They can give some features, but that feature should be limit, not more.
Okay, sir. Okay. So main objective is for a update, not to improve the performance of mobile. That's the main thing, no, sir.
No. We can improve the performance, not high level. We
Okay.
can suppose if I have a 60% means I can upgrade to 80%, not 100%.
Okay, sir. Okay.
See here, if you are in the challenge web page time, they having the desktop, but we cannot modify all the things in the same device, right?
Okay, sir.
Correct. So we can change some modifications for the specific, because that hardware should support that level only. So if
Okay.
you want to change much more, means we need to go for the new hardware. So that is the main thing, because
Okay.
it changed the hardwares.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
That's all, sir.
Okay. Any query? Okay, it should be satisfied or
Yes, sir.
any?
Definitely.
Okay.
So, the session was wonderful. Some student, I hope the student has been understand the topic because
Okay,
all the
actually,
students.
again, actually, we don't have much more time. Otherwise, I can within the 1 hour, 1.5 hour, I can cover all the things, right? So these are all the basic. If you have any query, means send the mail to Edul. I can
Sure,
explain. Okay.
sure, sir. Sir, have you developed any existing product based on Android, sir?
Yeah, already
Can
developed 17 applications, 17, 18
okay.
applications.
Pertaining to an pandemic, I heard that Il sir says that Android app developed for a pandemic. Have you show the samples, sir?
No, right now, actually, I worked on both Java web application as well as Android.
Okay,
Right now, but I have some aware of that how to develop and all.
okay,
So
sir.
how can use that means there is a Arokya Seva app, right? So how
Yes,
it
sir.
works means you need to we can use the GPS or we can use that Bluetooth. So
Okay,
initially you are given the input, means they can gather the inputs and save in the server. Okay.
okay,
While see here, while given the data, they can gather your mobile number. Okay.
okay, okay,
So then they can track your mobile number. So by using the location, they can track your mobile. Okay. But if you are keep your mobile your home, then you can wander, means not wander out, means it cannot shows.
yes,
You need to keep your device your own, right?
okay,
So then what will happen is that server will keep on monitor your device.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
If you any other person having that constant corona means they will identify if it is less than 6 meter distance means, so you can maintain a distance with these people, these people having the corona. So you need to maintain distance. So that and all done by the location manager. I already said, right? So
Yes, sir.
distance calculation.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So by this they can do.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your sharing your precious time with us. I hope students and faculty members understand about Android application development. So it will be a excellent session.
Okay.
So, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Edil, if you have ஏன்னா டவுட்ஸ்னா உங்களுக்கு மெயில் அனுப்ப சொல்கிறேன், நீங்கள் எனக்கு ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir.
ஓகே, தேங்க்ஸ்.
Thank you,
லீவ்
sir.
பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
Just a minute, sir. Vote of thank.
Okay.
So, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr.B.Ezhilavan and Mr. Sitaraman, sir, VEI Technologies Chennai, for sparing your valuable time with us. Thank you very much, sir. Wish you all the best, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's good, Gautam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ezhilavan, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
For your
Thank
time,
you.
and Mr. Sitaraman has done really a patient presentation.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
very nice, sir. It will be useful for our students also.
Okay.
So on behalf of the Janssen Institute of Technology, we render our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Ezhilavan as well as to Mr. Sitaraman, sir. And also to all my technical team who has smoothly coordinated this webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
sir, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.